Winnie, Gary, honorable guests. We're welcome to this event. It's very excited for me to really deliver this speech. If you look at the title of this, environment, mobility, energy, all of these are interrelated. And actually, I represent one of the largest R&D organizations in institute in Hong Kong called ASTRI, Applied Science. And one of the things I'm very proud of is we both work on the environment side and also on the mobility side. So let me talk very briefly on these two ends. One is on the environment side. Actually, we have different initiatives on ESG. We also have battery savings, different projects to save the batteries. And I think as different industries are going to the next stage with the carbon neutrality, you will see more and more science and technology applying to that area. And for the mobility side, we are also very excited that we will be the first organization in Hong Kong that developed the smart mobility autonomous bus. And we have two projects that are rolling right now. One is in West Kowloon, basically a tourist area, Empress, and the whole palace, museums. We're working on a project that has the autonomous bus that will drive around the tourists. Of course, Hong Kong law requires somebody to sit there reading newspaper or looking at the mobile phones, but so it's not totally no driver, but definitely I think the different laws are making it easier. The second project we're working on is actually Chinese University, MTR Station and Science Park, very busy at the 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. time frame, and the shuttle buses are all blocked. So we will have an autonomous bus project that we'll be working on. So hopefully, with all these changes, we will see a big environment changes for Hong Kong. Thank you very much for coming and hope you enjoy the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yip. Please be seated. Now, we are very honored to have Dr. Winnie Tang, MH, JP, founder and honorary president of Smart City Consortium, to deliver her welcome remarks. Please join me to welcome Dr. Winnie Tang.
Honorable Undersecretary Diane, Denis, Gary, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you and good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining today's forum on energy, environment, and mobility at DES. This is the second year I joined the DES. I'm so glad to be here to share my humble views to you again. Today's the topic of our forum is Innovate and Invest for a Better Future, the roadmap to smart mobility and a sustainable future. To cut it short, let me focus on the roadmap to smart mobility and a sustainable future. According to the Hong Kong's Climate Action Plan 2050, released in 2021, we are target to achieve carbon neutrality before 2050. Right now, we still have 26 years to go. It seems that we still have plenty of time. However, when you look at the schedule, it takes more than 10 years to get the new registrations of fuel-propelled and hybrid private cars. All knows that transport is the second major source of emissions. Would it be too late? To speed up our progress, I think emerging technologies will be the shortcut. This year, I am excited to know that we can travel by hydrogen-powered double-decker bus. Besides, around 1,800 electric vehicles, EVs, are used, represent about 8.6% of the total numbers of vehicles in Hong Kong, and the number is keep rising. What's more, air taxi will no longer be a dream for us, as this service may be available soon in Shenzhen. Currently, Guangzhou and Shenzhen have already released a set of measures and detailed policies to promote the development of the low-altitude economy, aims at using EV takeoff and landing aircraft, EVTOL, to serve various sectors, including the high-frequency cargo transport, tourism, emergency rescue, and urban air travel. If there's air taxi service available in the GBA later, traffic congestions at the border checkpoint during the public holidays will be possibly eased. I also learned that Sweden is building the world's first permanent electrified road, allowing electric vehicles to be charged while driving, which will greatly help increase the popularity of EVs and reduce emissions. Meanwhile, the China Automobile News quoted an estimate that the market value for the wireless charging equipment for EV would increase to 1.8 billion Hong Kong dollars by 2027, implying that the demand for wireless charging is increasing. During the last decade, we can see that technologies keep evolving from electric vehicle to hydrogen-powered vehicle, from unmanned vehicles to unmanned flying vehicles, even from EV chargers to wireless electrified highway. Without the technological advancement, our smart mobility and sustainable future could hardly be achieved. So last but not least, collaborations is the key for technological development. I'm confident that we could co-create a smart and sustainable city together through innovations and collaborations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tang. Please be seated. Thank you. Today, we are also honored to have Ms. Diane Wong, JP, Undersecretary of Environment and Ecology, Bureau of the Government, Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, to join us at this forum. May I invite Ms. Diane Wong to come on stage and give her opening remarks. Thank you, Ms. Wong.
Dr. Denis Yip, Dr. Winnie Tang, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm delighted to join you all today for the Energy, Environment and Mobility Forum of the Digital Economy Summit 2024, with a theme on smarter technovation for all, forging a sustainable future. A warm welcome to all our visitors from around the world and to those of you who are joining this event online. I will share with you our efforts in promoting deep decarbonization and sustainable development in this city, focusing especially on the parts on green buildings and green transport. As set out by the Financial Secretary in his budget, green development is a defining feature of high-quality development. As global economies pursue carbon neutrality, green transformation creates huge business opportunities and financing needs, leading to industry clusters of great diversity. Our country aims to have carbon dioxide emissions peak before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2060, what we call the dual carbon goals. To align with the country's dual carbon goals, Hong Kong will strive to achieve carbon neutrality before 2050 and reduce our carbon emissions by half before 2035 from the 2005 level. Decarbonization. We have set out our decarbonization strategies in the Hong Kong Climate Action Plan 2050, published in late 2021. I agree with Winnie that while achieving carbon neutrality in less than 30 years presents great challenges for all of us, the strategies in the Climate Action Plan 2050 include net zero electricity generation, energy savings and green buildings, green transport, and waste reduction, tackling the major sources of carbon emissions in Hong Kong. On net zero electricity generation, as all of you are aware, electricity generation accounts for over 60% of Hong Kong's carbon emissions. For achieving net zero electricity generation before 2050, we target to cease using coal for daily electricity generation by 2035. We will also strengthen collaboration with neighboring regions and strive to raise the share of zero carbon energy in our fuel mix to about 60% to 70% before 2035. On energy savings and green buildings, buildings account for about 90% of Hong Kong's electricity consumption, and over 50% of our carbon emissions is attributable to generating electricity for our buildings. Our goal is to reduce electricity generation of commercial buildings by 30% to 40%, and that of residential buildings by 20% to 30% by 2050 from the 2015 level. And we seek to achieve half of these targets by 2035. We will amend the Buildings Energy Efficiency Ordinance to extend the scope of regulation to more types of buildings, mandate the disclosure of information related to energy audit reports, and shorten the intervals of energy audits. We have also expanded the scope of mandatory energy efficiency labeling scheme to include more household appliances, to increase the total coverage of energy consumption in the residential sector by the scheme from about 50% to about 80%. EMSD has also been promoting retro-commissioning, a systematic and cost-effective process to periodically check the energy performance of an existing building, to identify energy savings opportunities for operational enhancement. On infrastructure, we will also accelerate the incorporation of district cooling systems in our new development areas in order to reduce energy consumption. On green transport, transport accounts for about 19% of Hong Kong's carbon emissions. We will cease the new registration of fuel-propelled and hybrid private cars in 2035 or earlier. The development of new energy transport will enable us to achieve the long-term target of attaining zero vehicular emissions before 2050. We will formulate a green transformation roadmap and timetable for our public buses and taxis in 2024. We will also formulate the strategy of hydrogen development in Hong Kong in the first half of 2024 and commence the preparatory work for legislative amendments pertinent to the production, storage, transportation, and application of hydrogen energy, with a view to introducing an amendment bill into the Legislative Council in 2025. On waste reduction, waste contributes to about 8% of carbon emissions in Hong Kong, with the bulk of them being greenhouse gas generated from decomposition of waste in landfills. To move away from our reliance on landfills for disposing of municipal solid waste in the long term, we are developing more state-of-the-art waste-to-energy facilities, such as iPark 1 for handling municipal solid waste, and OPark 2 for handling organic waste. Financial support for various initiatives. We have set up a 1.1 billion Hong Kong dollars new energy transport fund to encourage the transport trade to try out green vehicles or vessels in their fleet. Up to end February 2024, about 320 trials involving different types of commercial vehicles and vessels have been approved, involving a total subsidy of about 274 million Hong Kong dollars. In addition, we have earmarked another 350 million Hong Kong dollars to provide subsidies to 4 in-harbor ferry operators for trials of their electric ferries. In addition, a dedicated 100% loan guarantee scheme for battery electric taxis is in place to support taxi owners to purchase electric taxis. Innovative technology plays a pivotal role in achieving carbon neutrality. We have established a Green Tech Fund and allocated a total of 400 million Hong Kong dollars to the fund to provide better and more focused funding support to R&D projects which can promote decarbonization and enhance environmental protection in Hong Kong. 30 projects from local universities, designated public research institutes, and private enterprises have been approved, involving a total grant of about 130 million Hong Kong dollars. These R&D projects cut across a wide array of subjects, including technologies for production and storage of hydrogen fuel, biochar-enhanced construction materials, aqueous rechargeable batteries for electric vehicles, and noise-absorbing materials for recycled plastics, etc. We expect that these R&D projects will help the industry develop decarbonization strategies and technologies with commercialization and application values, expediting the low-carbon transformation in Hong Kong. Looking ahead, Hong Kong will be doing more. In a period lasting for 15 to 20 years, our government will devote about 240 billion Hong Kong dollars to take forward various measures on climate change mitigation and adaptation. Various sectors of society, including private enterprises, are also expected to invest heavily in decarbonization. The enormous demand for financing all these projects will accelerate the development of green bonds and other green and sustainable financial products. Ladies and gentlemen, Hong Kong is committed to promoting sustainable development. We are keen to exchange insights from renowned experts and global leaders and work with businesses to build a greener future for the generations to come. Together, we can make a significant difference in safeguarding our planet and securing a sustainable future for all. Last but not least, I would like to thank the organization for jointly organizing the DES and all other co-organizers and supporting organizations for their continuous support to this summit over the years. I'm sure that all of you will have a most rewarding summit. I wish this summit every success and wish you all good health and businesses in the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wong. Would Ms. Wong please remain on stage for a group photo? And at this remarkable event, group photos cannot be missed. May we invite Ms. Wong to have a group photo with Dr. Denis Yip and Dr. Winnie Tang, please. Thank you. Okay, so let's look at the cameraman in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Right, some more. Middle. Okay, one more. Thumbs up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Thank you, Ms. Wong, Dr. Yip, Dr. Tang. Please remain on stage. Now, can we invite our keynote speakers, panel speakers who are with us today, and other senior representatives of the forum organizer to have a group photo. Mr. Gary Yeung, President of Smart City Consortium, keynote speakers and panel speakers, please. Ms. V.P. Leung, Executive Director of SCC, and myself. And now let's look at the camera in the middle. Okay, let's look at the middle. One more. All right, thank you very much.